No,
Just
they
kidding.
I
Oh,
think
really?
honestly, I think we get moved out whenever they don't see enough Chinese being spoken. But I think the reason why
Yeah.
he's getting warnings is because he has a very popular live, and so basically a lot of the people are getting upset when we're not translating, and so they start reporting him.
Yes,
Oh, got it. Got
we
it.
have
Got
too
it.
many
Got it.
people in our live stream, so we have to speak some Chinese sometimes.
Mr. Otley, you said you're on the West Coast?
I
I'm
do.
on the
I
East
did
Coast.
see when I was
Okay.
on the chat side, I saw a lot of people saying that they're a little bored with this topic. I will say that.
The
Yeah,
West
it can
Coast
get
of
boring.
Florida?
I was about to say that we should switch it up to a new topic.
You're not making the public mad.
Okay, 那我I can ask the chat then， 大家有没有什么可以讨论的，然后比较有意思的话题，然后就是大家都感兴趣的，不要谈政治，不要谈不合理的，
不要，对，
好吧？
就不要谈这些
Mr.
都可
Otley,
以。
you're in Florida, right?
Yeah, I'm on the east. I'm closer to the East Coast.
The East Coast of Florida?
Yeah, close to Daytona Beach.
Oh, okay.
I think they were asking about the work, like the workplace culture, things like this.
Workplace, what do they want to know about it?
Culture, workplace culture.
Like workplace culture,
I
environment.
guess just in
difference between-
general, like,
Yeah.
in general, you can share
if
with
you're close to your coworkers, like, is it toxic, stuff like that.
Oh, this is a great topic to talk
I-
about.
Yeah.
I'll go last
But, like,
because I can
depends on
talk
who
for
you
years.
ask.
I'm very quick, so I'm just gonna say that my environment's like family. My boss is like 45, and he looks at his employees like children, and he won't like write us up or anything. It's my first boss that has done it this way. He's older. Most of them are like younger, but this one he's older, and the environment's like I'm his kid, and but I'm more respected because I know more than. More than my other, because I know more than my other co. But I'm more respected because I know more than my other co. Because I know more than my other co. But I'm more respected because I know more than my other co. It's the server breakdowns because there's so many people. Every like 10 minutes or so, it just does a reset. You got to wait like about a minute. Just give it a minute.
Yeah. They're saying really bad connection, lag.
It's not us. It's the app keeping
says
up.
we're
All right, they're
back.
back.
I
They're back.
Someone said
anticipated
we're
this
back.
happening.
大家现在听得到的话，可以扣一下1。
Okay. Hi.
All right, so I'll just repeat myself and try to talk slower. I'm from Tampa. Wait, fuck. What were you talking about? My bad. Oh, work culture.
Work culture.
Okay, I think they're back.
So work culture. My boss looks at his employees as children, sort of like his children. So he takes us under his wing. When he gets mad, he also talks to us like he's his children. So it's a good and bad thing. That's all I'll say. Oh, and I'm in sales, so that's the environment.
我可以给大家简单翻一下刚刚 Brad 说的他的工作情况。他大概是20岁，然后他的老大是40多、45的样子，然后就是他的老板把他们当做那种孩子一样看待，然后他也就是很尊重他的这个老板。他虽然就是很年轻，但是他也很被尊重，因为他其实懂的一些知识也挺多的，然后这就是他的一个基本情况。Okay, we can go next.
Okay, so basically, for y'all, I'm a managed creator slash manager, and my boss, the dude that like owns the company, is the dude that manages me personally, and me and him built like a bond and I would say like a friend slash family type bond, because he was like with me when I was homeless, and like, you know, he was just helping me through a lot of stuff, and when I was having doubts about myself, he was like uplifting me and stuff. So I would say like it's a very good work environment for me.
然后这就是说他是一个经理，然后他和他的老板关系还不错，然后他的老板还挺照顾他，大概就是这样一个短短的故事。然后I can speak for myself for a little bit, and then translate myself. 就是I mean I worked at Amazon first, and for anyone who doesn't know in the chat, it's 亚马逊，就是中国也有。So it's a very corporate environment and very, very big. So there are a lot of people, and I would say we're not really close to one another, and except for one person, which I really click with. But other than that, we're just strictly coworkers. We don't even get lunch or get dinner out of work, and we go to work like 9 to 5, and that's about it. And then I switched to being a paralegal. Paralegal are a little bit overworked and underpaid. So I was studying for LSAT as well. So it's 9 to 6. Because there's 1 hour lunch break, so they gotta get that 40 hours in. So it's 9 to 6 instead of 9 to 5. And it's in New York, so transportation is pretty bad. It's a little I would say it's a boutique. It's not a really big law firm. So we would just be directly talking to our managers instead of talking to like everyone or every lawyer. That's about it. 就是我讲一下我的故事。我是之前在亚马逊工作，然后做的是物流管理，然后因为公司人很多，然后比较大，所以跟大家之间也没有很近，也没有去就是周末呀去吃饭什么的。然后我后面去做律师助理。然后因为我们公司是相对来说比较小的一个律师公司，但是我们属于是1对1这样，我就是和我的经理沟通，然后他和我们负责的律师沟通，然后基本上没有太多和其他律师之间的交流。
Wait, can I just recap real quick? What was the initial question? Was the question the work culture in the United States in general?
Yeah, I think work environment.
Yeah,
Okay.
work environment, workplace. Yeah.
Workplace, just the workplace in general, just the workplace where?
I think we can speak of like our personal experience first, and we can compare.
But when it comes to I feel like personal, and this just taps on what James said earlier. I don't know if the chat wants to know. I mean, maybe, I don't know. What is the chat? I can't read the chat, so I don't know.
They were just like asking something general, like generic.
Okay.
So we can talk about something personal, and then we can discuss the differences, things like that. Yeah, I can speak of myself too. So yeah, I talk about. I can speak of myself too. So yeah, I talk about like my personal experience. I used to be a like intern. It's more about like HR business partner in TikTok actually. And when I was in China, I feel like for that kind of environment, it's very competitive, and also like we had a lot of like stress with the tight deadline, everything. Even though I was an intern, I think I was doing the job for like literally like that's a workload for 3 people. So I was kind of like burnt out, but actually in a way I learned a lot of things. I took on a lot of projects, and also I own this kind of like ownership for the project, which made me like learn a lot of things. And right now I'm in Toronto. I work for a game company, so it's pretty chill compared to the Chinese company. It's pretty like relaxed, and everyone treat each other like the friend, and we never work overtime, which is really great. I think I got gaslighted when I was in TikTok, and they were like, oh, it's actually good for you to work overtime, because like if you get off at 10 or like after 10, you can take the cooperate like company Uber, and they can expense this. which is like free for you, but in a way you have to work overtime. But here, like in Canada, in Toronto, we don't have this culture, and we really promote the work-life balance, I think, because like right now we have a lot of like clubs. It's like university, like music club, like a band or cooking club, something like this. But it's really funny. I really like to work here. So that's my personal experience. 我可以给大家翻一下我大概的一个工作情况。我之前是在就是国内，我也在那个字节工作过一段时间，只是实习生。但是呢，之前我也觉得就是当那个 HRBP 的实习生，就觉得很有压力，因为一个人做很多的活，然后就很紧张的一些 deadline。然后后面的话，他们主要是想要让你更加加班或者怎样，他们一般就是有这个企业的滴滴，就比如说你10点之后下班，你可以免费的打车回家。所以说就是在一定程度上有一点加剧这个加班文化。然后我现在说我是在这个多伦多这边工作，在一个邮寄公司，所以说他们的文化比较轻松，然后大家都是很提倡你的生活跟工作是分开的，需要有一个平衡。就像我们现在很多的话都不会加班，而且公司也像一个学校一样，有那种不同的 club， 就是那种你可以去一起有这个兴趣 club， 感觉一会儿一个人去唱歌跳舞，然后一会儿去做这个桌游 club， 然后或者是大家都喜欢烘焙，然后还有烘焙或者是煮饭这些。Yeah， 就是这个是我的一个工作经验。Okay, so I'm gonna pass it to another one.
That was a lot of Chinese.
Sorry.
I
Yeah.
can go.
I can
That
talk
was
a little
more
about
Chinese
my
than
workplace.
Packing.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey. So yeah, I feel like working in America just generally varies by workplace. I think there's some things that I think we could talk about generally, but in terms of like my personal experience, my job is kind of like we get things done efficiently. We work really hard, but it's not overly strict at all. For context, I work at a law school, so I work in the public relations and communications department of a prestigious law school in Washington, D.C. And I think, we're not overly strict about things, and we never treat anything like we're, saving lives. Like it's PR, not the ER, is my current boss's favorite saying, which means like it's public relations. We don't work in the emergency room. So that's kind of the vibe at my place. And we all get along. Like there's a good vibe between us, but it's not in like we're not best friends by any means, but we do get along. I've done things outside of work with my coworkers, but it's very infrequent. The one thing about my work team, it's 7 people, that's really interesting that I've never experienced before, is that like the generation gap is pretty big. So when I started working there, I've been there for like 5 years. And so when I started working there, I was a newcomer along with another young guy who does like all of our video production. And he's like my exact same age, but when we got hired at the exact same time. And we were the youngest people on the team, and everybody else in the team is no less than like, I think not everybody, but except for one guy, everybody else is at least 20 years older than us. So there are some things that like we do have like generational disagreements, and I often find myself having to like work through that tension. I'm like the peacekeeper on our team, I think. So like people come to me to like figure things out when people are being like cranky or not resolving things in a reasonable way, because that does happen sometimes. And I think on my team specifically, there is also sometimes tension between like men and women on the team. I don't want to get like too deep into it, but like there are some times where I think like even like I get a little ornery towards like some of the male energy on our team. And then I think like that was a weird word to use. I shouldn't use that word. I get a little like frustrated with like male energy on our team, but there are like a couple of guys on our team who feel I think the same about me sometimes. So there is a little bit of like fighting in between us, but it always is like it gets resolved quickly and it's really rare. And I think overall it's a very professional environment where everyone like knows their role. And we also like work together to get the job done. Like when it comes to communications, there's so many moving parts and it's often projects, especially in higher education, we're working on things that are sensitive and
Sorry, Jacqueline,
nuanced.
hold on a
So
second. Hold on a
I'm
second.
really glad I could talk to somebody, or I could work with somebody that like with other people that are like-minded. So I'll stop there.
Bat 22, that comment is completely unnecessary, and you think you're going to get around a moderation because of that, but we see you. Don't say shit like that.
No,
Sorry.
they're saying a lot of out of pocket shit, but the more
Yeah,
attention
you
you
need
give
to-
them,
you need to chill
the
out,
more
bro.
they're going to act up the more.
If you're going to act like that, go to TikTok. We don't need that stuff.
James,
over
I
here.
learned the more you give them the attention, the more they're going to do it, bro. Just
I don't like
Yeah, they
people
will.
saying they don't need to be calling her words. That's not okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
if
didn't even notice.
if you're taking time to join a live and you
don't
wanna
give
make
it. Stop
comments,
giving them the
then-
attention. Move on, please.
I can go next.
Can you
wait, let me
Hold
translate.
on. Let them translate.
also when you
Oh, right.
translate, when you translate, can you let them also
Okay.
real quick, when you translate, let them know that it is not super late for us really over here, and most Americans stay up late regularly, and so we are not tired. We are okay to talk and hang
I
out
think
with
it's late for them. I'm pretty sure it's late for
No.
them.
morning.
No,
for
it's
them.
early.
No,
Really?
it's early for them. They every night they tell us to
Wow.
go to bed because
I'm
we're gonna
so
go
messed
bald
up.
if we don't go to sleep.
So funny.
That's how it works.
get
In
that,
the morning,
Jacqueline.
it's
The
nighttime for
reality.
them, and
Almost about
But let
dark.
them just. I was just saying that I know it's funny, but just let them know that we're okay.
OK，就是 James 想让大家知道，我们这边我在东海岸最晚才现在11点左右，然后群里的大家也是睡得比较晚的，所以想跟大家说我们我们没事儿，然后不用担心我们。对，然后因为一直有人问我们为什么不睡觉，大概是这个事情。然后也希望大家在群里的发言可以稍微文明一些，好吧？谢谢。然后刚才 Jacqueline 说的是大概的情况，就是他在一个法学院工作，但他是做 PR 的，也就是公关。他说他们的团队7个人，然后但是年龄差会稍微大一些，就是当时他和另外一个年轻人被招募进去的时候，其实他们是最年轻的，然后其他人都比他们大概20岁左右。他还讲了，就是他们团队其实比较有效率，但是不会特别严。然后对于就是在问我们在讨论什么话题的，我们在讨论工作环境，然后美国的工作文化。Jacqueline's gone 。But anyways，对，他还说就是他们团队其实整体来说好像关系还不错，虽然就不是特别好的朋友，但是也是比较亲密的。然后也虽然有一些比如说因为年龄啊，比如说因为性别会不太一致的观点，但是还是会通过沟通来把它改善，把它完成的。
And then
Hello.
Mr. Oddity, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah. So my name is Anaya. I'm 23. I'm an American English teacher. I also have taught Math 1 and Math 2, and I have a degree in social work. So I'm very well versed in a lot of these topics.
Excellent.
I've
Thanks for
actually
being
been seeing a comment about it, trying to see if you could join us a lot when we were talking about the student loans and the GED and all the SAT scores.
Yeah.
Thanks for being a teacher. I know it's
Expertise.
tough work.
Yes, it is very tough.
So I'll kind of talk a little bit about my work experience. So I do currently work from home, but I'm actually I work in cybersecurity as an engineer. I'm a contractor for governments, both federal and state level. Right now, I'm on a state contract for the city of New York. But I do work from home though. I work in a company though. We're all remote. The entire company is remote. The company's about 1,100 employees. And the only time that we get together typically is once a year. So we'll get together. The company will typically rent out a large portion of a hotel. This is actually coming up in February for my company too, so I'm kind of excited about it. Unfortunately, it's just here in Orlando. I live close to Orlando, so but we all get together for 4 days and go over goals for the year. We kind of party. I don't personally drink, but I enjoy hanging out with my coworkers when they are imbibing. I think it's fun. So, but yeah, that's kind of what I do. Like I said, I do cybersecurity, data analytics, specifically in cybersecurity. I know
You
that really
sound
doesn't
super
mean much to
smart.
people, but go ahead.
You sound super smart.
Well, I'm tech. I've always been in tech. So.
Very logical.
Thank you, though.
Oh no,
Thank you.
no, that is a lot.
How'd you get up to that point?
How did I get?
Let's translate.
Like what's your story?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
go ahead.
Oh,
Translate.
Yeah,
I
you go
can
ahead
I
and
can
translate.
Yeah, I can go translate.我给大家翻译一下，我们2号这个小哥哥他的工作，他现在是在家上班，就是不用去公司的那种。然后他是一个网络安全工程师，应该是这样子的一个中文的对照翻译。然后是那种跟那种联邦还有州的一个政府的签的那种合同。然后他们整个公司的话，1000多号人都是远程工作。也不用去公司这样子，但是他们一般会1年聚一次，然后这次的话就是刚好在2月份的时候，他们公司就会去租一个巨大的酒店，然后让所有人都去那个酒店住，然后一起去开这个 party， 然后虽然他不喝酒，但是他还是很喜欢跟他的同事一起去玩这样子，然后这就是他的一个工作情况。Yeah, that was about it.
So
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I can. Shane, you just wanted to know a little bit about how I got to this point.
Brad, but yeah.
Yeah, Brad,
Brad,
and
yeah.
me. I did. I
Which
was
figure?
gonna say the same thing as Brad, but
Sure. So, I did attend some college in my early 20s, but I dropped out. I didn't actually end up graduating or getting a degree. But I was already working in the tech field, just doing like computer repair and basic IT functionalities.
Where at?
Where at?
Yep.
So where I started, I should say, was I was making websites for a guy who owned a bunch of online businesses where he sold cell phone accessories. So I made all of his websites on Yahoo sites. It was pretty simple. And then from that point, I actually went and I worked for an electronics recycling company where I started, I would get drives, I would reformat them. They would basically get a bunch of items from like government or companies who just wanted to put those items and sell them. So I would do tech work for them. What was that?
Was it a Shurion?
No, it wasn't a Shurion. No, no, it was like it was kind of an independently owned business. It was called A1 Assets. But and then from that point, I actually got some certifications. I got into an IT administrator's position, and then after that, I worked in a network operations center, and I got a bunch of networking certifications. And my biggest hurdle would be not having the degree early on. It's no longer a hurdle for me. But what I actually ended up doing to get into security, because I always had an interest in security, is that I started a group here in Central Florida where I actually taught people about ethical hacking, and I taught people how to do things like hack Wi-Fi, hack databases. It was all test environments, but I would put on these labs for people, and I ended up getting recognized for that here, and then I ended up getting a job offer from the company actually that I work for now.
You're about to get a lot more job offers here in a second. I'm just kidding.
But so yeah, so I work for this company. I work specifically for the federal team for data analytics and security. And I'm a senior security engineer. And I do contract work. So my contracts can range anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks to 3 to 4 years. Right now I'm on a 2-year contract. So but it's all security related, and yeah, so that's kind of
a state contract.
That's literally why cybersecurity is important. He literally just said it.
And you have no degree. That's truly inspirational. I appreciate
We
it.
need some Chinese.
That's what I was. Yeah. Sorry.
We need translation.
I can translate that. And Emily, if you want to go to the next person, you can go ahead. Is that okay?
Sounds good.
OK， 我就给大家讲一下，就是2号我们的哥哥怎么就是到这个位置的。然后他就说，最开始他 20岁好像上了大学，但是后面他退学了，所以说他没有这个学位。但他当时有在这种科技公司啊有一些工作啊，但是做的都是很基本的东西，比如说那种计算机的维修，还有那个什么 IT 啊之类的。然后他最开始好像主要是在网上卖手机配件还是什么东西的，然后他们就是为他做了网站，然后做一些格式化的东西，然后他们公司好像是先去回收，然后后面再去把这些东西给卖出，反正也不是特别核心，那个技术特别那个专这那个叫什么东西？这金砖。然后反正最开始的时候，慢慢积累一些经验，然后获得了一些认证，然后最后就是到了这种 IT 管理员的一个职位。然后最开始的时候，他还就是教一些黑客的知识，但是很那种道德上面的那个道德黑客的知识，如果可以这样子翻译的话，然后就是让大家怎么样简单黑一下 WiFi 或者是数据库，但主要是用作测试环境。然后他就是因为做这些，反而得到了更多的一个认可，然后最后拿到这个 offer， 就是他现在工作的一个公司。Yeah.
I am so impressed with your translation skills.
Can I add something to that real quick?
Yeah.
Also, let them know that I know that there's people who have asked in other lives that I've been in about how important it is to have a college degree. In America, while it is good to have a college degree, it isn't always necessary to have a college degree to get a really high-end job that pays really well. Sometimes to get that job, it takes a lot more effort, but at the same time, it's not always required to have a degree to be successful. You can be very successful without a degree.
Entrepreneurship is a prime example, as well as Mr. Audley here.
But translate that real quick for them, because that's a little bit to add in there for him.
Okay. Where's Emily? I can translate real quick. 我给大家就是快速的翻译一下刚刚 James 说的东西，就是说在美国的话，大家在问就是这个文凭学历是不是很重要，然后我们都在说其实不是一个很重要的事情，它可以是一个加分项，但不是说你必须得有。他们很多就是注重这种工作经验，如果你就算没有这样子的一个学历的话，你也可以有就是一些很好的工作，如果你有一定的经验，所以说也没有必须说把这个看作是决定所有东西的一件事情。Okay, that's everything. Yeah.
It's my turn now. Are y'all ready for this? So for me, my work experience was the first corporate job that I ever had was selling hotel rooms. It was a very toxic environment. The workers, the managers acted like they were in high school. They were very big. It was all cliques. They only wanted to be buddy with each other. They didn't care about their employees, and they didn't care who quit, got fired, or was mistreated. I left that job pretty quickly, and then I started working at Apple. When I worked at Apple was decent, but it was still had the clique mentality where if you said anything contrary to what Apple wanted you to say, you were immediately ostracized and you became the bad guy. They cared a lot about customer service when I was working there, but slowly, right before I left, they changed to only caring about numbers instead of people. And so it became very toxic towards the end, and I left there. And then I went and worked in pest control, where my manager helped me mature and learn what business like professionalism is, and that's where I learned that. Then I went from there to Facebook, and Facebook was actually pretty cool. I really enjoyed working at Facebook, but then it was a contract, so it ended, and I had to find another job. I worked at Google. Google was also very toxic, and had a very bad work environment. And then I went from Google to where I'm at now at TikTok, and I love TikTok. It's amazing. They treat you like family. My manager's great. Everybody there. I was a part of the first moderation team to come live in Austin, Texas for the global team. And everybody from my training class is still with TikTok, and it's been a year and a half. And in America, that's really rare. There's usually a lot of turnover. TikTok here in America is very big on making people stay. They want people to stay and enjoy their job. As far as work-life balance is concerned, TikTok is really big on, they don't want you to work overtime if you don't have to. When you're not at work, they really don't want you in chats. My managers get on to me all the time for replying to people when I'm off. They want to make sure that if you're sick, if you're ill, if anything's going on, you're still not in chats. They don't want you doing anything at work. And they're really big about, hey, stay out of work when you're not at work. So they really want you to make sure that you're enjoying your time or doing things on your time and not doing anything work related.
Excellent.
I really wanna ask a question because like I used to work for like TikTok, but it was in China. I feel like that was the main difference. So for me, I feel like it's very stressful because they actually kind of promote you or like advocate that working overtime culture. But I feel like maybe you're in the States, so it's different, right?
They have to follow different rules in the States, but also you have to understand that the culture in America is different. The crazy thing is that TikTok is a Chinese ByteDance is a Chinese company, and I've been treated better at TikTok, I would say, than I've ever been treated at any other company I've worked for America.
James, what's your profession? What's your role?
I'm a TikTok moderator. I moderate political lives. I handle misinformation and disinformation on the TikTok platform, and I monitor live streams for people who are putting out bad information that's not true and conspiracy theories.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
James, can I ask a question? Oh, my bad.
Wait. Let her translate real quick before. Yeah.
Okay. I was just gonna ask. I didn't hear the first part. You said you were first starting at Google. I mean Apple.
The first part I started at a hotel industry. It started as Westin Hotel. Just say Westin.
Okay, got it. 就是James 从一开始他是在酒店工作的，然后就是从事酒店行业的。然后他说他第一个工作环境，我记得我听刚刚就有点掉线了，应该听到不太好。然后说就是应该是有点抱团，然后而且同事之间没有特别的友善。然后他说当时从那个环境出来的时候，其实自己也不是很舒服，因为这种不太友好的环境其实会非常影响他个人的这个情绪啊，或者是就是工作能力也是有点影响。然后后面好像是又有一个比较短的工作，然后之后去了谷歌。谷歌的话好像也是工作环境没有很好，到最后是去了抖音。然后抖音的话是工作环境非常好，他本人是负责管理就是应该是叫做管理员，他是负责管理直播呀，管理就是信息差这个方面的。然后他说在这里工作的话会对他当时的整个人，就是他在他的表达中他挺开心的，然后因为感觉像一个大家庭一样，同事之间关系会非常好，然后他的老板对他也很好。然后所以就是美国这边会因公司因人因团队而异。
我可以补充一点点，他刚刚也去了那个苹果，可能刚刚 Emily 掉线，他没有听到，我就补充一点点。他就说他好像是从酒店出来之后，然后去了苹果，然后在苹果的时候，他们那些思维就有点像，如果你说了一些话跟就是公司希望你说的话比较相反的话，你就会被排斥，然后他也就觉得他们好像只是很关心一些数字啊，而不是关心你这个人本身。他也就觉得有一点有毒，所以说他后面好像就是从这个之后去到了谷歌，还是去到哪里呀？ 然后这个是我添加的一些东西。I just like added the part for you for the Apple company because I think that one Emily wasn't online. That's why I added. Okay, next one we can go.
Is it me?
Yeah.
So I guess like I'll only talk about the 3 like stops to me get into education. So in college I was a caregiver, loved it. I didn't really like the employees too much because they were young and chasing money. So they didn't really care for the elderly, which is what a caregiver is. If you didn't know, it's someone that takes care of elderly people. and my specialization was in Alzheimer's and dementia. So I took care of elderly people who had Alzheimer's or dementia, helping them, with their daily tasks, eating, bathing, activities, and stuff like that. Loved the residents, didn't too much care for the atmosphere, was toxic, cliquey, didn't really like it. So through my journey to my degree, I ended up working with public housing, where I worked with low income communities with finding different scholarships and different funding to help them pay rent, find jobs, be able to ride public buses and stuff to get to work if need be. Also through that, I was able to sit in on like different cases in courts dealing with like civil stuff, with family separation, with kids, figuring out who the child goes with, if a parent isn't fit, where they should end up, foster care, all that kind of stuff. After college, I got my degree. I was well versed in a whole lot of different branches of social work. I chose education to go back to my high school, which is where I teach now, to be a role model for those kids, because I am from a low income community, very rural, a lot of negative things infests that city. And so I want to be a model for those kids. And so I picked up teaching math, because a lot of the kids care about money. So I teach them, how to do that. I taught math 1 and I taught math 2 last year. And then this year I'm teaching English to Spanish speaking students, as well as literature to native speaking students.
Nice.
Where are you from again?
I am from North Carolina.
Okay. Emily or Melon?
那等一下，就是大家能不能稍微文明一点？就是网络不是法外之地，好吧？就是不要躲在键盘后面就开始喷。就是其他博主可能靠这个吃饭，但我不靠这个吃饭，我就是个普通流子，所以把话放尊重一点。然后大家都是人，好吧？都有爹妈。好，结束，你翻译吧。
And let's stop throwing the end slur. Can we get someone to mute this person?
Yeah,
I don't think
we
they
can.
have moderators in here, so we just gotta ignore
No,
it.
the person that is running this live can mute that person.
Oh, well, can you do that? Because it does kind of bother me, because we are
It's
both
bothering the
violent
chat at this
persons.
point. I wasn't going to say anything until other people started to mention it. So
I know.
But
I mean,
let's-
I
but
wasn't
like
trying
I
to
said,
say
let's not
nothing
give him
because I know it
attention.
means something else over here, but I know what he's saying. Like, personally, I know what they mean by that one.
So yeah, that's everybody's work culture. We were on that topic for like a solid hour. Did we miss anybody?
Yeah, I think
I didn't
official.
know. Yeah.
I go just like translate real quick.
Oh yeah, my
for
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. 我给大家快速翻一下，就是我们的9号小姐姐的工作。然后她好像是在大学的时候是一个看护员，然后她也很喜欢这个工作，但是好像她当时也不是特别喜欢那些员工，因为很多那些员工比较年轻，他们就是不太关心老年人，就是只是为了就是钱嘛。然后他们有一些人是有那个老年痴呆，但是这些人就不太真的照顾他。这是他之前的一个工作，然后后面他好像在那个 housing 在公共住房这方面工作，然后就是帮助一些收入比较低的一些人，然后找他们的一些奖学金啊，或者找他们一些资金啊，帮他们去支付这个租金、找工作这一系列的一些东西，反正就是帮助大家。然后后面他好像也去了一些 social work， 比如说那种案例那个叫什么法庭的一些处案例的东西，然后什么民事案件呀、家庭分离、什么孩子归到哪里的一些问题，然后他也会去参与到什么父母不适合抚养，孩子怎么去安置，去哪个寄养家庭，反正类似于这些方面的东西。然后最后他选择了教育，然后回到了现在教书的这个高中，然后先是教这个有一些数学，然后后面他也教过一些西班牙还有英语，这就是他现在工作的一个东西。然后也是一个很善良、很帮助人的一个姐姐。Okay, that's about it.
I want to touch on the topic of mental health. I don't think we've done that yet. Here in the United States, and I want to know how it is in China. Um, Anaya, I think that's how you pronounce her name, brought it up a little bit.
We did discuss that a little bit about ADHD and autism and all that.
Right. So I
So
want to, it's a little different. I want
I
to
was
bring
just
up,
saying that chat was being a little bit different when we were discussing that topic, so we kind of went away from that. So I
okay,
don't know if you do want to discuss that again,
I
but
do. I don't really care what other people think. So that's just me. I don't know how other people are. So mental health here in the United States is a very big problem when it comes to both the older generation, and Anaya was talking about it, the dementia and Alzheimer's, as well as um, the just mental health in general. When it comes to schizophrenia, there's a lot of mental health diseases that are a problem, and we don't have state-run nor government-ran facilities to house those people. They are placed in dementia and Alzheimer's units or hospitals for the rest of their lives. I don't even know where they're going, to be honest, besides dementia and Alzheimer's units, because those are the only locked away long-term care facilities but they're privately owned, which is unfortunate.
You know where they're going? They're homeless. A lot of them.
Well, a lot. Well, yeah, and then they become drug. So that's half of it. But then the other half are just, yeah, they're homeless. It's so sad. And I want to know how that is in China.
before
How
we do
y'all
go
address it.
into that, I never got a chance to go ahead and tell a little bit about my past experience, like work experience and everything.
Oh, I'm
And that
sorry.
actually
Yeah, that's what I
a
was
little
saying.
bit,
That's why I brought you up, official.
yeah, that's why I was also trying to stop Brad too, but we kind of just got heated.
Well, I asked if anybody didn't go, and nobody
Yeah,
spoke
nah,
up.
I said official didn't. I'm pretty sure everybody heard me say official. I'm very good at like keeping an eye on like everybody that
Okay.
I
talks.
just let
Okay.
That's
Naya
just
go
something that
first.
my mind makes me do.
All right.
It's on
Thank
you.
you,
It's
everyone.
on
I
you.
think we can let number 3 to talk about his work experience, and we go back to Brad's mental health topic. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yes, please. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to translate that before you want me to start ahead.
That's
No,
okay.
that's
You
fine.
can
No,
talk
it's
about your,
fine.
and we can.
Just go you first, and then we can deal with it after when the conversation's complete.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So my name is Mohammed. Obviously, this page is a little bit different with the name right now. But my name is Mohammed. I'm in Houston currently. But kind of started my work with like small job. Started with Domino's, I guess, just starting as insider, make my way up the chain kind of thing. But I did do my education a lot more earlier. I know some people on the chat earlier, I talked about emancipation. That's kind of what helped me get a little bit ahead in my education. So I did my bachelor's at the age of 19. And then as soon as I finished that, I went to, I got accepted in a medical program for Yale. And then COVID hit, but I still finished it. I am continuing that education in Houston Methodist currently with the resident program for neurology and oncology. So I'm a third year medical resident student for Houston Methodist. So currently been doing that. But overall, the work experience, especially working in a hospital, kind of just being on the front lines, work environment pretty simple, straightforward. Like, hey, at the end of the day, we're professionals. Corporate kind of plays a lot of big role into it. Houston Methodist is owned by a church, which is the Methodist Church. So a lot of religious values are implemented on it. But at the end of the day, we do basically try to prioritize care over any other values, which is where a lot of conflict happens with our workplace. Mainly the difference between everybody else going about their work experience and mine would be like the competitiveness is definitely high. When I started this program, we started with 322 individuals, and now we're only down to, I believe, 83. So definitely a lot more competitive. Kind of in a way of like, it definitely takes a toll where the mental health kind of also plays effect into it. with the school systems and definitely like the societal pressure as well. So definitely kind of have been playing a big role in that. Recently, I have been trying to also try to do a little bit part-time work as well. So other than actually being full-time student, I've done business where Brad was talking about that he's been doing AT&T. I kind of actually own the business on that, which is the marketing and advertising group, which is where we work with the leads as well. So kind of wanted to maybe talk to Brad about that as well. But kind of just all over the place, but right now mainly focusing on the medical education, as well as just trying to actually build my career over here. And I'm also a single dad, so kind of just trying to build my life over here, and as well as for my daughter. But pretty much, yeah, I don't know if there's any questions on the chat about that.
Single dad here too.
Sure.
Quick question before I go ahead and translate. So you said you started with Domino's, like as in the pizza place Domino's?
Yeah, I started with Domino's. Basically, did that for the time being of when COVID was right when it was starting. I still made my way up the chain, kind of helped with that, making bills pay for while I was in school at Yale. And then, but yeah, so I did start it with Domino's.
Gotcha.
That was like my first ever official job. Yeah.
就是这位小哥哥，他是其实一开始是从Domino's 就是这个一个披萨店然后开始的，然后他19岁上了耶鲁的一个医学项目，然后现在是在读第3年的 resident 是他们医学生的一个阶段，然后他说他们的项目比较竞争力比较大，而且竞争性也比较大，就是他们一开始是有300多个人，现在好像只有80多个人了，对，所以他现在压力还挺大的。然后他现在本人也是一个单亲的父亲，然后有一个2岁的女儿。然后他说，他还for your side business, are you doing it for AT&T?
Yes, I actually worked with Verizon earlier, and then I switched to AT&T about 4 months ago.
Gotcha. 所以他4个月前从 Verizon 也就是一个电话运营商，然后转到了 AT&T 也是另外一个电话运营商，然后帮他们做宣传，然后市场营销这类的工作。
I'm also working for AT&T at the moment.
That's why I said we kind of when I heard you talk about it, I was like, yay, somebody.
What do you do for AT&T again?
AT&T Fiber, like the sales door to door.
Oh, I sell fiber when they come to my store.
Oh, you are the store one? You don't go door to door?
No, I'm an authorized retailer. I don't door to door is the hardest job, and I commend you for doing it. You honestly would have such an easier time working in store. They come to you, bro.
Bro, the commission is a lot more better. Trust me.
I don't know how much. So, do you mind me asking? Do you mind sharing how much you make in commission?
I get paid $265 per gig sale as a.
So owner. How much do you average a month?
A weekly, I am looking at 23 to 27K direct deposits. On monthly, we're looking at about almost close to 80 to 100K.
Right, but how much are you making in commission?
What do you mean?
Like, how do you get so how much goes in your bank monthly?
In my so my take home monthly is
$25,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
American?
Wait, $25,000 or $2,500?
Yeah, I think
$25,000 a month. That's owner pay for you to be able to do business for AT&T.
Oh my gosh! Okay, that's why.
Yes, that's why. That's how I'm able to pay my school. I don't have any loans.
What? Yeah. Okay.
Do you mind me asking? So, how did you get into that?
I started just like any door-to-door representative. I started with Verizon. I made my way up, and I basically had the business owner of who I was working with invest into me. I started that in August of actually last year. First ever time I ever did commission. I never thought I could ever do it, but I did do it, and I needed to do it. I was out of work from March till August of last year when I moved to Texas for school. But yeah, that's how I started it, and I just made
That's a
myself.
lot of translation.
I know. I'm sorry. But I switched. I did it. I built my team. I could show that I'm able to build and actually teach others to sell, which is what these companies are looking for. And they invested into me, and I opened my office, and I actually sold part of my office. Well, not really sold. I guess somebody invested into the office to be able to have the little bit part of the income as well. So now I started 4 months ago with only 3 people on my team, and now I am up to 35. Actually, I just hired my
Jesus,
36th
man.
person. I just hired my 36th person today.
Oh my gosh.
That is so
Congratulations.
impressive.
Hey,
Yeah,
do you
let's
have
get
do you
it
need, do you need a new
translated
best
though.
friend? Do you need a new best friend? Do you want a new best friend?
Give me $100 right now.
Let's definitely get it translated for bro.
Yeah, we
Translate
need
the
to.
funny. Do translate the funny parts though, because I know the long part of the conversation can get boring.
Yeah.
So wait, just to confirm, it's 25,000 per month.
He gets 20,000. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not average. On average, we're able to do about 35. But again, I'm only 4 months into this part of the business.
And we just
But
got
yes,
through the best. We just got
Isn't
through the
it
best
like how
couple
many
months of the year.
units you sell or something?
No.
Huh?
It is units.
Like,
Yes.
do y'all
It's,
go by units? Because I know
yes.
each area says it like has
Nope.
different terms for it. So,
So
Wait, my question is, and he has no college. He has what college degree did you get?
I have bachelor's in medical sciences.
But you don't need
And
that. You don't need
He's
that to
not
do.
using-
You don't need
I
Tell
that.
don't
him that
need-
he's not using his college degree. Please add that in there.
Right.
Yes.
Sounds good.
Sales is one job. Sales is one category of job, a business category that anybody can do.
Uncapped.
It
Yeah,
is
it's
uncapped.
uncapped.
You literally write your own check, and there's nothing holding
Facts.
you back except for yourself.
Facts.
Sounds good. 就是这位小哥哥说他现在的工资是$25,000一个月，但是这个想跟大家说一下，其实是在美国非常非常不正常的一种情况，也不是不正常吧，可以说非常高的一种情况。然后一般人的工资就没有这么高。他是从事这个销售的，然后就是刚刚我也说过是市场营销，然后因为 AT&T 这个运营商觉得一开始他是从挨家挨户敲门卖这个东西开始，然后直到他的业务非常好，而且他AT&T 这个公司觉得他可以能够胜任去就是领导一个团队，并且去教其他人如何去销售这样一个工作，所以让他开了自己的这样一个区域的办公室。然后他从一个3个人的团队开始，现在直到上周好像是已经到了36个人，所以他而且他们让我跟大家说，就是他没有用自己的大学文凭，所以其实销售这个工作在美国来说还是相对来说包容性比较高的，而且会对于可能文凭呀，然后学历来要求没有那么高，然后只要你肯努力，就是可以有高的工资。
Hey everyone, I'm gonna drop.
补充一下，刚刚
Where are you going? Are you dropping for the night?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop for the night. It's been a pleasure, everyone.
Bye,
Likewise.
Mr.
It was nice
Odyssey.
meeting you.
Yeah, absolutely. Great meeting everyone. Great chatting. I appreciate it.
Yeah, come back, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I just wanted to add on the Emily what she said. For the
Yeah, go
your
ahead.
education stuff, like maybe like what you are doing right now, the difference. OK，我给大家就是稍微增加一点点，就其实3号小哥他其实真的很厉害，他的本职在耶鲁大学，他当时读的那个专业好像是神经学科跟肿瘤方面的，所以他现在做的跟他之前读的其实不太相关，他真的是一个很厉害的一个人。Yeah, that's everything I wanted to add on.
Yeah, just to put it in perspective. Oh, my bad.
I'm gonna drop down for tonight. Y'all can, stay on this topic, but I did like the topic that Brad was bringing up because I do think in America,
You want to stay
mental
up for a
health-
second, and we'll go back on that.
No, hey, stop. I understand what y'all were trying to do, but the thing is that there's certain things that you don't want to bring up in China, and there's things that can get the live taken down. So just don't talk about certain sensitive topics like that because you may piss the chat off. And while you don't care, we're not here for
It's not a
you.
sensitive topic, and I'm not insensitive. It's a genuine question. I want to know how they're housing their mental, like, it is a problem here, and it's a problem probably there. So it's a serious problem.
If there is
Wait, I'm
a sensitive
confused. Who
question, I will
doesn't
stop
care?
that. So
What's the
Like,
issue with talking about mental health?
it's not even
I mean,
controversial. Like,
I
I don't
had
even.
a
What's the problem?
couple off of what Brad's saying though. I did have a couple people, James, like a couple Chinese people, tell me about some crazy stuff that
Everybody's gonna be mad regardless of the topic, James. Like that.
Okay.
So here's the thing. All right. So let me just tap on it
But
real
who
quick
doesn't
before.
care? I'm confused. Who doesn't care?
No, everybody
about
cares about mental health.
It's
I
because of
agree
the
what he's saying, though,
it's because of the comment. It's because of the comment I made earlier about being insensitive. I get where you're going, James, but I'm trust me. There's 2,000 people watching me. I'm not stupid. So like I was saying, my dad, he owns assisted living facilities where Anae used to work, and he owns 6 of them here in the state of Florida, and we make a very, very good living. But at the same time, there's a serious problem because half of his patients are mental health when they should be dementia and Alzheimer's. The reason for that is because, again, there is no state-run nor government-ran facilities to store mental health, and I think that's a problem, and I think our government needs to address that. And I don't care who's listening. That's the part where I don't care. And James, I'm sorry, but yeah, I was curious. I wanted to question, and y'all could say no. Worst case, y'all could say you can't talk about it. But can I ask how do y'all address that problem? And if you need to translate first, by all means.
I think like we can still talk about like mental issue because like I feel like
Yeah.
we have the awareness like here in China also, but outside of that, the things related to how the government can control everything, I don't think we can really touch base with that. So I think we could.
I just want to know how y'all are addressing it. You don't need to tag along, government.
So, Brand, if you stop saying that, I will kick you out. So stop. Okay, stop.
Sorry.
没有，我觉得他说的其实没有问题，我觉得你不用就是
What's he telling me to stop?
I think you're okay.
He's just saying drop the
Wait.
conversation. We're not allowed to talk about it. He's the one who's running the page. He's the one who gets the text. So let's just not talk about it.
Who's running the page? I'm confused.
No. He was the one who told us to stop. So let's just stop and
Okay,
change.
just let's change another topic. Okay, just some positive. Okay, positive.
Yeah, just let's respect their area. We got to understand we're stepping on their grounds. Back to what James was saying, we're stepping on their grounds, but understand what you're talking about. You're trying to figure out what people's mental health are like over there. I understand.
The chat's saying it's not sensitive, but we can move on.
I think there is some misunderstanding between like us and maybe what because I can explain a bit.
You're saying we're stepping on their grounds like I'm invading, bro. Millen is Chinese, and we started this conversation with her saying that it was okay. So I get what you're saying with the chat room owner, but don't make me sound silly.
Let's do a poll. Let's do a poll in the chat.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. At the end of the day, like Shane said, we got to respect the host. That's all it comes down to at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think what he's saying is when it pertains to the government, don't talk about it. But
Right, but let's
about
is that when you start bringing. So here's the thing. When you start
We
bringing
don't
that stuff,
say anything about the government.
That's what he's saying. Don't talk about the government.
The issue that we have is that when you start bringing that topic up, that other piece is going to be brought in, and eventually, and it's just to prevent that from happening. It's forward thinking.
Understood. So we can move on, and I apologize. I understand. We're good. Let's move on. So
I can like kind of like explain something to just like remove the to clear up and remove the misunderstanding in Chinese. Is that okay?
Yeah.
我觉得可能跟主播也有一点点小误会，他其实不是想说政治政府的东西，只是在说他觉得在美国就是精神疾病啊这种心理健康是一个问题，但是可能政府有一点不管不顾，但是这不是我们的重点，我们只是想要讨论就是中国对于这种精神健康的一个态度，而不是我们想要往那方面说，跟就是我们没有办法控制的事情，政府说的东西我们控制不了的，我们不会说这个东西，我们只是在说就是精神健康这方面在中国的话是怎么样的一个态度。 That's it. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Right. Okay. We could like move on to some other topics, or like we can take a look at the chats if people wanna.
Yeah. Can you ask the chat what do they want us to talk about positively? Like, let's get out of the like this
Any
loophole that
questions
we keep
about
getting
like
stuck
the
in.
AT&T business thing or anything like that? I know people were talking about more about the cultural and like the work environment. If there's any questions related to that, if because I know we never really took questions, we just went on and telling about our experience.
嗯哼，
But
问一下
I don't
大
know if you guys,
家，就是想
I don't know if
要
you guys want to
聊
talk
什么其
about
他的东西。
the
Sorry to
unique work
interrupt. I was just
circle.
asking the chat. You can go ahead, Shin.
Oh, that was official that was talking, not me.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
And this is,
I also think to help the language barrier or whatever, I think whenever we are replying to these questions, try to be concise because it's hard for them to translate and it gets boring when it's a lot of information at one time.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also
but
wanna
many people
Brad.
come here just to listen to the talk. They don't care. Most of them don't care about that. But some people need translation, so we do translation. For all of us, it's good. It's better.
Yeah, and
Yes,
chat,
we
we're
appreciate
good, by the way. We're all good. We're good.
Yes, we are
Oh
good.
yeah, it's tough love, but we all respect each other.
Yeah，大家可以给各位小哥哥小姐姐点一波关注，然后大家如果喜欢就是看我们这个中美之间的文化差异的讨论呐、或者是一些其他的事情，大家可以预约明天早上北京时间6点的直播，然后我们还是会继续按时的上线，欢迎大家随时到直播间，然后可以把免费礼物送起来，也可以点一波爱心和关注，还有赞，谢谢大家。OK，let's move on.
What's he saying?
I say.
Yeah, you go
你说
ahead. Sorry.
没事，你说。
It's really hard to
so-
understand him. What
yeah,
is he saying?
he's just like telling everyone to say thank you to us and also like for us. Yes. Thank you everyone. Thank you for the host. Thanks all the people we are having this great chat tonight. Yeah.
Likewise. It's been an experience for all of us for sure.
Right.
Someone asked about studying art here. Does anyone have any experience with that? And also, do you know the salary related to that? Like, is it easy to get a job after graduation? And something.
So
It depends on like what art you're talking about because some people get their art appraised, if you know what that means.
I did ASMR, and one of my the top gifter that I had was from California, and he was paid on commission based on per painting, and it was like $200,000 per painting, and he would send me like I swear to you like $1,000 every single week, and
you have
he
to
essentially
build that. You have to build that though. You have to build clientele.
Right, exactly.
It isn't easy. It is quick. It is good money, but it's not easy. They have a thing in America called, I don't know if it's the same in China, but it's called a starving artist. It's somebody who is a really good artist, is like acclaimed, can sell like maybe one, but only sells like maybe one painting because they don't have a client list and people just don't know them because it's so saturated of a market. And so the thing is that if you can build a client list and you really put yourself out there and you really put in a lot of work,
we were talking about the positive, James.
I'm saying if you put a lot of work into it, that's not negative.
I was literally listen, James. I was telling them about how good it is, and you're telling them how bad, how you got to work.
James is just keeping it real.
Yeah, he's
Like,
keeping
James.
it real. You got to start from the bottom and make your way to the top,
Man,
bro.
I was in the middle. I was like dead center in the middle, like telling his successes, and you're like telling him how you got to work your way up.
You got to work. You got to work your way to it.
Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't have to. Sometimes there are success stories. There's people out there like. There are stories. I don't.
Okay, but the majority of the time is going to be hard work. That's all I'm saying. Just don't make people think that it's like a cakewalk because nothing in life really is.
I was just generalized. You do have to work your way up with any job, yes. But like this guy, he's in California. He's making a ton of money. He's very successful, and he sells to shows, art shows.
Okay.
Does he get his artwork appraised?
He does not. So what happens is they go on a show, they go on there's there's 1,200 square foot places that are leased out in popular areas, and people will pay to hang their paintings there, and then super rich people walk in those 1,200 square foot showrooms, and they will buy those paintings for millions of dollars and either hang them in their house or wholesale them out to other countries. Either way, he's being paid a ton of money, and that's the story. I mean, that's how people get paid here for the most part.
Brad, you do gotta talk a little slower because you started speeding up your English. And it's
I mean, that's me getting nervous. People we could translate if we need to.
Okay, sounds good. 就是我刚才问的问题是直播中有人问说美国这边艺术生就业毕业工资怎么样，然后环境怎么样，然后他们其中有一个人说他的朋友就是画家，然后会给画展卖画，然后其实并不是卖画，就是在画展中展出，并且然后就是有钱人进这些画展去买他们的画，然后还是比较贵的。然后另外 James 说的就是好像是作为一个艺术家，其实你应该更注重的是自己的这个客人的来源和客人的这个数量，然后以及客人的质量。然后就是如果你有一个特别好的客人的来源的话，但这样你卖画呀，然后还有后面自己的发展呀都会更好。
Again, thank you so much, Emily, for what you're doing tonight.
And I definitely understand what Brad's talking about too, because a lot of people are using like social media platforms to really grow their artwork. So there is like a lot of success stories like he's talking about, but you do got to build your way from the ground to the top, especially with social media platforms. You got to start somewhere, you know.
I mean,
so I understand where James coming from too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
So
my thing
like
is realistically in America, we live in a country where people make a living, an actual decent living, buying and selling Pokemon cards that like and flipping them. There are so many things you can do in America to make money because of it being capitalist. That's why. However, it is not everybody having a success story, because I've seen a video of a guy saying that his wife divorced him because he tried to do the Pokemon thing and he ended up $26,000 in debt, and his wife left him because of it. But there's plenty of people. But there's plenty of people who are making hand over fist, like millions of dollars doing it. So it's
Same applies with toy cars too.
Yep.
I'm an example for that.
Y'all, I'm gonna drop down for tonight, but love everybody. Loved all the interactions. If anybody wants to talk to me about English, y'all can add me. All of that.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you.
People are laughing because I said the Pokemon card thing, but it's true. It sounds like a joke. It doesn't sound real. I'm not even kidding you. It's a supply chain thing that the Pokemon company does with Pokemon cards that makes them so rare that they're worth they made it into a stock market basically here in America. I don't know if you need to if you can translate that, or if they took what I said.
Yeah. Well, 就是他 James 说他有一个朋友在卖宝可梦，也就是神奇宝贝的卡，然后美国这边市场其实还是这个卡还是挺有市场的，然后一般这些卡其实他之前在之前的直播中也说过，就是这些卡可以是比如说打开能看到是什么卡这么卖，也可以是看不到什么卡，然后看不到的话可能会价格会高一些，然后这是有一个 bidding market， 也就是说竞价的市场的，然后这个还挺有意思的。
It's even ridiculous when you're translating it. It feels ridiculous.
Does the chat have any questions for us?
我觉得好像就是有一点我稍微添加一些就是那个什么，就是补充一下，就是刚刚 James 也说过一些，就是一个极端的案例，就是说也不是说这个卡就是大家都赚钱，他也看过一个故事，就是说有一个男的，他们做那个就是那个 Pokemon card 的生意，然后离开了他，然后最后还欠了好像是26000左右的这种债务，所以说虽然就是看起来也很光鲜，但其实也不是说每个人都可以赚钱。I just added another like cases James said. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Sorry, can we get Elsa to introduce themselves? Or however you say your name. I don't want to...
Number 9?
The new box. Whoever the
Can
new box is.
Yes, number 9.
Elsa?
Can you speak?
Oh, okay.
Elsa?
Hey, guys. Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
hi, where are you
Hi.
from? What's your name? How old are you?
I'm from China. Still in China now. I'm
Okay.
Elsa.
What do you do
Yeah.
for work?
English teacher.
Very
Also
cool.
Chinese teacher.
Nice.
Somebody asked in the chat,
So
does
you need
anybody
help, you can ask me. Uh-huh.
somebody asked in the chat, does anybody know the film industry, how the film industry is doing in the United States?
Okay, I can speak to that because my brother actually graduated from University of California, which is a great school for directors and for filmmakers. And he's actually working as in an editing job right now. So for international students or for Asians, I would say the job market for filmmakers are not that easy simply because you don't have the connection, because as every other industry, film industry also requires you to have a lot of to know a lot of people, to just build a connection. And if your parents are not from Hollywood, or if your parents are not working in the industry, it's really, really hard for you to from the very beginning. So
I interpreted
Oh,
that
all right.
question differently.
Before this all goes on, so my pops, he lives in Miami, Florida, where there's a lot of people that film stuff out there, and it's a very successful business. This is like where I go back to everything that was going on earlier. Everybody is in different areas and stuff, so like everybody like has different experiences with everything. So like it might be bad for one person, but it might be going great for others. So if the filmmakers that are in Miami, Florida right now were to be into this live, they would tell you how amazing it's going, and you
So
got your side.
we can't actually like speak on behalf of the filmmakers, but if you're asking, so the question again was how's the film industry in America? And I interpreted that as like how like, are we still watching movies? Are we still going to the movie theater? That's how I interpreted that. Not all of that, but I don't know. So like how we still go to movies, and there's great movies that are being put out lately, and I think the movie theaters are coming back. But during COVID, movie theaters almost shut down, and the what do you call them? The actors almost, like, there was no acting, there was no movies being put out, or for a solid like 2 to 3 years. But lately,
I feel like that's actually a tough topic to get on. My fault for cutting you off, Brad, but I feel like it's a tough topic, that one.
what do you mean by tough?
Well, if only
because like I said, like
you can wrap
it all
up at the
depends
end
on like it all depends on what area you're really in.
No, because in my area too, I'm in
way.
Texas, and I actually talked. So in Texas, they had a third party. We have things called Flix Brew House and Alamo Draft House. They're where they give they're full service movie theaters. I don't know if they have that in China.
Yeah, they're fucking badass.
Yeah, you have a recliner, and they bring you food.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, a recliner, beer, full meals during the movie. And they have the lights off, and they make it so that it's dark, so it's not interrupting your movie, right? But they anything you can think of. They usually have a lot of options for food. And I actually talked to the owner of them. He was a franchisee, and he cried because when I was in pest control, when we were in pest control, a lot of people were calling and canceling because of COVID. He called me crying because he was upset about it. Right? He called back to start his plan. I talked to him, and I let him know that my family spent every Christmas going there because he was in such a down state because he was worried about going out of business. I said, hey, just so you know, people really appreciate what you do. Try to keep it open as much as possible. And like here in America, for me and my family, we go every Christmas to Flix Brew House, and we go and watch a movie. It's a thing. And he was like so emotional about it. And he's like, okay, I was going to give up, but thank you so much for your story. That really means a lot. And he held in, and they're actually taking off again, and they're actually expanding. And they were down to one. They were down to one place. It's actually really cool if you can put a positive spin on it, even if it isn't negative.
Which place are you talking about? Which place are you talking about?
Flix Brew House. It's like Flix Brew House, Alamo Draft House. They have
there's multiple movie theaters like that.
Yeah, but it's like
Okay, I thought you were talking about the Star Cinema Grill. I think that's like
Yeah,
a
they're
big
like that
corporate
too.
option of that.
it's like that. It's like
You
that too.
know, yeah. So they have a lot of locations, but like you're talking more of like a mom and pop kind of a business, which is still nice.
Now,
Yeah, but
Shane,
I think it's funny because they probably think that may be why Americans are bigger too, is because our movie theaters give us full on food while we're watching the movie.
Yeah, I think we're just lazy sometimes.
yeah, and anything I say is going to be backed by statistics, by the way, Shane.
They're,
Oh, no.
they're
I
asking,
totally
so they're,
respect that, Brad.
hold on, they're asking in the chat to speak Chinese and what we're talking about. They don't understand.
忘了去上厕所。There's some noise in the background. Can we mute ourselves, please? 就是慢慢去上厕所，所以我给大家解释一下。然后现在大概就在聊电影行业，然后Brad 应该是说了，就是电影行业在疫情期间会比较困难，然后但是就是我们就是在这边，然后不管是国人也好，还是美国人也好，都会经常去看电影。但是这个也因人而异，但是基本上都会比如说出去约会的时候啊，怎么样都会去看电影。然后 James 说他有一个朋友，其实之前生意不太好做，然后从这种连锁的电影院变成了只有一家，然后但是好像是他的朋友还是最后挺过来了。
Can I say something?
So go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Listen, about movie, about TV series. I want to introduce you a very great TV
What
series
movie?
in China.
What?
甄嬛传. It's about a TV series. What happened in the emperor, about emperor and their so many wives, and the women, their wives just fight and fight every day. How to fight, how to survive in the how to survive in the in the
All the chat is cracking
Yeah.
up right now.
Yes. How to survive in the Forbidden City? Very interesting. Sometimes you have to pay more attention to the scenic to the specific spots to catch them. It's sometimes shocked.
I was
It's
gonna
very good. 甄嬛传.
Yeah, it's really it's a super popular show in China.
Yeah,
and
super.
searched up the
Why is everybody laughing then?
because everyone loves it. Well, most people love it.
I've noticed that
What's it called?
What's it called again?
It's called Empresses in the Palace. So empresses, like emperor. Empresses in
The only Chinese lettering I can understand is the house looking one, and it's ha ha ha.
It is. So yeah, I think it should have English translation and subtitles as well. So just search it up. It's really good, and it's a really good way to learn about like Chinese TV dramas, because this one's like one of the most popular ones going on. It came up back in 2011, but yeah, everyone's like saying like.
Can you ask her if it's on Rakuten? Is it on Rakuten or Viki? Because that's what I usually watch my Chinese and my Asian dramas on.
I'm actually not sure, but if you search it up on Google, I'm pretty sure it's going to be on one of the websites.
I think there is
Oh,
something
wait, sorry. I
on
didn't mean
YouTube.
to say the name. I know that sounds like an advertisement. I'm sorry.
I think to give you a little bit context of this like show, so you can compare with Game of Thrones, but it's in more Chinese like dynasty, this kind of background, combining the Game of Thrones, this kind of context.
Sorry, you said Empresses what?
Empresses in the Palace. That's a English translation for the show.
All right, what's going to be the next topic of the night?
Okay. Yeah, I can watch this.
People ask about what good movies do you recommend?
Mufasa. It just
Deadpool
came out.
3. Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3?
Yeah.
No.
Moana 2.
Moana
Definitely
2,
so
Moana 2 is super
fast-forwarded.
underrated. I actually liked Moana 2 and the new music in it, and people were giving it so much
They could have
negativity.
done a little bit better on Moana 2. Like, it wasn't as good as Moana, like the first one, but honestly, Moana 2 was still good. It's like Gladiator 1 and Gladiator 2, the most amazing movies that I could have watched in the city. They were amazing.
My favorite song in the new Moana was the one with the Batgirl. That song, I really loved it.
Did y'all watch
Oh,
Mufasa yet?
Not yet.
no, nobody cares about
What?
Mufasa right now. I'm just kidding.
We already know what
Did you?
happens. We
Who
know he
just
gets
said
older
that?
and he dies.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
James, what did you just say? You already know what happens?
Yes.
You do
I'm not
not
gonna
know
lie,
how
Rush
Scar came
Hour.
about.
We can't forget about Rush Hour.
Scar has a full-on evil.
They
villain story
literally
that nobody needs to
show
know.
Scar as a baby.
Bro, they gotta watch
Yeah.
Friday.
What is Friday?
Somebody's
No,
watching
do not tell them
TV.
to